Down. I'm lasing him with my tracers. You got it, bro.
Wait, what? How's that dead? Oh.
Okay.
Wait, how's that dead?
Don't worry, you got this.
Wait, I put 60 bullets into him.
Yo, can we just not do this, you guys? Can we just not, please?
My free kid.
Guys, come on, this is 1v3, so boys.
I usually don't blame the game for my own faults. Normally if this were to happen, I'd blame my aim and move on to improve. But fights like these have been happening way too often this wipe. And point firing just felt off. How is it possible a multi-thousand hour player like myself who's used to doing these kind of point fires is whiffing this bad? So obviously this needed to be tested. We're going to be testing 3 different guns. First one is the clear meta weapon this wipe, the SIG Spear. Next is the meta SMG 45 Vector. And finally a budget M4 similar to what I used in the first clip. We're testing with laser off, ADS, and then laser on. Starting with the Spear. Alright, we can see our point fire spread is about 40 to 50% higher on the laser point fire. So let's test out our SMG. Here we can see our spread is obviously better than the Spear due to recoil, but it's still about 40 to 50% larger than our ADS spray. So weapon class does not affect point fire spread. Now let's try our budget M4. Same results. So how does this affect my lack of skill in the first clip? Previous wipes, point firing gave you the exact same spread as ADS. So it's simple to expect what kind of spread you'll get when you point fire, which allowed me to predict where my bullets will go. So all I had to do was shoot my gun ADS in my hideout before the raid. As you can tell from our testing, point fire with laser is no longer 1-to-1 with ADS. The spread is about 50% larger. From this patch forward, with the nerf to point fire, in order to be an effective PvPer, you'll have to learn 2 different sprays. Then eventually learn to translate what 50% more spread on point fire feels like, so you can apply to every weapon without grinding each gun in hideout. Now here's where weapon stats come into play. Notice how much better point firing is with a lower recoil gun like a Vector? Does this mean we should build our guns to focus on the recoil stat rather than the ergo stat? I haven't had enough time with the game to figure out which stat is meta yet, but perhaps there's a reason for this. Maybe finally, out of all the wipes we've had, we can build our guns to fit our playstyle. If you prefer the W key close to mid ranges, maybe you should drop ergo completely, go RK2 and just focus on point firing. Being good with point fire and having a gun that's good at point firing will almost guarantee you'll hit the first shot before your opponent. Most players won't have the point fire range to outduel you without aiming down sights. So going full recoil will ensure that you'll be able to point fire them from further away. If you play a rattier playstyle, then maybe you should focus on ergo for faster ADS speeds. Because you're sneaking around, you'll always see your target first, so being able to ADS faster means you'll get your first shot off sooner. When you're aiming down sight, recoil doesn't really matter this wipe. I can shoot a stock M4 fine ADS, and every gun part that's best in slot ergo has some recoil reduction anyway. How you build your gun might finally almost be completely up to you this wipe without any disadvantages. But I'll still be making gun build videos, so don't be afraid. After discovering these point fire nerfs, it's obvious our next step is to test left hand point fire. From what I learned through reading up a bit, I was wrong in my last video. It's actually not optimal to switch to left hand all the time, due to increased sway while you're left shouldered. So let's see how swapping to left affects point fire, and then talk about how or when we should use left shouldering. As you can see, the difference between left and right while ADS doesn't seem to be that different. However, point fire seems to slant upwards 10 to 15 degrees to the left. To ensure that it'll always slant to the left, I do a couple more mags. And they all slanted to the left. So if left shouldering has extra sway and a more complicated spray pattern, when and how should we use it? It's simple really. Only use it when it gives you an advantage. We can recognize when left hand is advantageous by taking a good look at its negatives. Because moving increases sway, point fire swinging past 10 meters is pretty inaccurate. So in CQB situations, swap to left only if you're swinging up close. Never wide swing left hand past our approximate 10 meter limit. It's very likely you're better off building up a sprint and swinging right hand if you're forced to run out of cover by a nade or other factors. If you're not forced out of your cover, you're much better off crouching so you can jiggle left hand ADS. Now with both of these situations, we're under the assumption that you're at a disadvantageous angle, where you're closer to the cover and your opponent is further away. If we were to roll swap into a situation where you have the advantageous angle, when should you use left shouldering? It's very simple actually. Because you have the luxury of seeing your opponent first, you can ADS pre-aim and hold their peak. Now the question is, at what ranges should we be using right hand and at what ranges should we swap to left? Well, it depends on how far you are from the target. The further you are from the target, the less of you they see. There's a sweet spot where even if you're right hand peeking, your opponent won't see you. At this range, there's no reason to swap to the left. And anything closer than this range is more advantageous to use your left shoulder. Guessing the spacing will come with time and experience. As usual, I hope this video helped. Like, comment, sub if it did. My other socials are here. Thanks for watching.
I think I maybe got one. Not sure.
Where?
It's really far, like 200 meters. In front of us. Yeah, right there.
Oh, I see. There's a group of 3 over the crest here. I'm leaving.
Okay.
I got one. There's another one lower.
One dead?
You're dead?
No, one dead.
Oh. Oh, I'm dead.
Wait, where'd you get to?
He's on the bottom actually.
I'm pushing bottom right now. I'm pushing bottom.
There's one's by the little rock kind of towards the top. Yeah, like once you go up, go turn left and you can see.
Jason said he died at the bottom though.
I killed the guy at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't know if I killed him, but fell over.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck.
Dead.
Holy shit.